Hi, friends, and welcome to Talking with Those People. My name is host Eric. A very pleasant, good Wednesday morning to you and to all your loved ones. Today, today, ESFJ wall sign. So let's talk about what an ESFJ wall sign looks like. Turn up the mics here a little bit. All right, there we go. Let's start with the first ESFJ wall sign today. I am fearless because I am faithful. My second ESFJ wall sign today. Work hard, stay humble, be kind. Work hard, stay humble, be kind. I didn't have either of those signs up in my house, but those are first two that I see here under inspirational signs for home under Google Images. If you'd like to play along, Google inspirational signs for home and look under Google Images. Here's one. This is a great one, okay? Be thoughtful. No fussing and fighting. Always say please and thank you. Have patience. Create memories. Dream big. Show kindness. Say I love you. Smile deeply. Pray for each other. And then in big letters for all those things, it's FAMILY, family. It is a wonderful sign. Wonderful sign. Here's a thought for today. Hang this one up in your bathroom. Look at it in the morning when you're brushing your teeth. Just take a look at it, okay? Here's the message. You are enough. You are enough. That's it. It's so simple, but so true. Now, I want to go on to our next ESFJ wall sign. This is a fun one. Take the leap. Your feet know where to go. So true. So very true. Okay, let's look at another wonderful sign. This one, I didn't have this one in my house either, but it's a wonderful sign. Aim high, shoot for the stars. I mean, it says it all, doesn't it? Here's one that kind of in a similar vein. Let your faith be bigger than your fear. If you have that on your wall at your house, you'll remember it better than if you don't have it on the wall. Here's another one in a similar vein. Okay, I really like this one. Let whatever you do today be enough. That says it all. This is enough for me today. This is what I'm doing today, and it is enough. I am enough. Okay? I want you to know that. Let's go on to the next ESFJ wall sign. Okay, this one really says a lot. It doesn't say much. It says a little, and that's how it says a lot. And that's saying it all. Dream, explore, discover. I love that sign. I would love to have that sign up in my house. I'm always forgetting to dream. I'm always forgetting to explore, and I'm always forgetting to discover. And this sign will remind me to do all three things. Let's see what other signs we have. This is another great one. This is another great reminder. Stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. Oh, this one is for the romantic in all of us. This one I did actually have up in my house when I was married to an ESFJ. Grow old along with me. The best is yet to be. Oh, that is so wonderful. Here's a little cheeky humor. If you want to get a little risque, a little blue, this one's got a picture of a paddle on it. And that says, I survived Shit Creek. Oh, oh my goodness. That is hilarious. You know what? I want to tell you this. This is good advice. Be with those who make you smile. Be with those who make you smile. Don't be with those who make you frown. If if you want to be with those who make you frown, then you'll be sad. How about this one? This is a good one. As for me and my home, we serve the Lord. Yep, that's a wonderful sign. Okay, I'm gonna change the. I'm gonna go a little bit crazy here because I've got this kind of arty side to me. I'm gonna change from inspirational signs for the home to quirky signs for the home. Quirky rustic signs. Quirky rustic signs for the home. That's what I'm gonna look for. This is actually a pretty funny one. Home, where the hoe and me come together. Oh, this is quirky. Welcome to our beautiful chaos. It is so ironic because you think it's going to say beautiful home or order or something, but it says it's chaos. It switches it up on you. Oh, there's a fun one. No bitching in my kitchen. There's not going to be any bitching in my kitchen. Oh, this would be a good one for me. Caution, old people having fun. Oh my God, that sign is so quirky. How about this one? You know what's so beautiful about these signs is how rustic they are. They're all made of wood. They have hand painted. How about this one? Sip happens. And it's got a picture of a wine glass on it. Sip happens. Oh, there's a whole industry of people who buy those signs. I can't read any more of those signs. Uh, this family gathers here. Okay, so live, laugh, love. I want to remind you guys this one. This is what you should have up in your bathroom, okay? Today, I choose joy. Today, I choose joy, okay? It's like when I get up, I always forget. What am I picking today? Despair or joy? Fortunately, I have a sign up in my bathroom. Eileen, don't say those things. I need a wig to be more authentic. Your attitude determines your direction. Um, That voice just reminded me of half my teachers in high school. Yeah, the absolute worst kind of teachers, they go like this. They go, "Welcome, welcome to class, everybody. Today we're gonna do a lot of learning, okay? Because in this classroom, we are lifelong learners. We are here to learn today. Why are we here? Jody, Juicy, Chazzy, you. Why are we here? Um, to learn? That's right! That's right! Good job! We are here to learn. Today we choose to learn. Who else can tell me? Why are we here? John, you tell me. Um, to learn? That's right! Oh my gosh! We are here to learn because everybody in this classroom, is a lifelong learner. We are all lifelong learners. There are no bad questions. The only bad questions are the questions that you don't ask. Those are terrible questions. You, over there, tell me. You tell me, Julie, why are we here today? Because we have to go to school? No! We're here to learn! You are a learner. Believe in yourself. So a while back in the video, you mentioned ESFJs have those signs in their house. So I thought it would be ironic and funny to buy some for my house. I lost $3, but gained the ESFJ's respect. Hey, you might as well get it. Might as well, you know. You never know when you're going to need it. You've had enough of that in your lifetime, Dark Star. Do you have teachers like that? Excuse me. You need to stop making googly eyes at your friends. Okay? We are not here to make googly eyes. Why are we here? You tell me. We're here to learn. So what did we learn today in class? We learned what we are. We're lifelong learners. And why we're here. We are here to learn. Remember, look at the signs on your way out. Today, I choose to learn. And I am a lifelong learner. Those are my signs. Read them. Know the truths. Know the powerful truths. Hi, John Christopher Lestone. Just bring an ESFJ to an interior design store and you will get babies from them, says Bruce Moose. It's true. All you have to do to convince an ESFJ to get pregnant is buy them a sign that says, "Today I choose to get pregnant," and hang it in their bathroom. And then just internalize the truth. Dark Star wishes his ESFJ neighbor would stop bringing him gifts. Just stop. Here's the thing that's funny about ESFJs. If you do something nice for them, for a little while, like, you bring them something one time, you bring them something again another time, then they get mad if you stop doing it. Oh, me is a she. Um, that's some TI correction right there. That's a qualification that probably didn't need to be made. That sort of consistency check right there. But yeah, it's like, oh, I can give you a ride to wherever. And for what's the reason for your elated state today? Am I elated? I must be quadruple. I'm elated because you're here, King Krishna Sarma Bagu. After all, you're King Krishna Sarma Bagu. And you know what you do? You put poo on my shoe. King Krishna Sarma Bagu. King Krishna Sarma Bagu. Stop. That was the jazzy version, yeah. You didn't successfully defenestrate yourself. Did you know that, Eileen? There's a word in English that means to die from being tossed out of a window. It's called defenestration. That's the word for death by falling out of a window. Since there is a word for it, there's no reason not to use it. I am in a good mood today, it's true. I'm in a good mood. I know why I'm in such a good mood. Because I've been reading some pretty great signs. Let's see. Let me put in the positive rustic signs for home. Positive. My worries are few because my blessings are many. I kind of like this sign, actually. Wouldn't mind having this sign on my wall. It's like an ENTJ sign. Like even the lettering of it is like ENTJ. It says, wake up, kick ass, repeat. That's a pretty good sign. What I love most about my home is who I share it with. Oh my gosh, that is so wonderful. I want to remind you guys something else. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. That's true. It's true. It's funny because it's true. How about this one? Make the day so awesome, yesterday gets jealous. Oh my gosh, that is so clever. How about this one? Today's menu, eat it or starve. Oh, that's a sassy mom. That is a sassy mom. Think deeply, speak gently, love much, laugh off, work hard, give freely, and be kind. Those are rules to live by, And you know that they are because you have them as a sign on your wall. That's how you know. You think our collective emotional blood sugar is a little bit low? Oh my! All right, guys, come on, everybody, line up. We're taking pictures. Hey, hey, Alexander Cruz, you're not smiling properly. You need to smile differently. You, Lucas IPO, get over here. You're in the front row, I said. Thank you. Wonderful. Good. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Yeah, KK Christmas Art Bagu. You get back in your spot. Big smile. Big smile. Okay, everybody say Curry. He's cute that way. It's funny. It's a little bit of I'm just sort of throwing a bone to our Indian friends. Okay, great. Perfect. Just 45 more pictures and we'll be done. You only know 3 ESFJs, and they're all really smart and not at all corny like this. I'm doing a hilarious caricature of my ex-wife, basically. Okay. You need an attitude adjustment, mister. Now let me see that beautiful smile. That's exactly right, Darkstar. That's exactly right. With the wall sign text for an INTJ be everybody does everything wrong. While I display nothing, my rage runs very deep. Yes, that'd be a good wall sign for an INTJ. Will this be a long live stream? Probably. I don't know. I have no idea. Really. You think I miss her? No, I don't miss her. She was cool though. What was the reason for this topic? Oh, I was joking around about ESFJ wall signs in a conversation before this live stream, and I went to smoke a cigarette, and I just thought I've thought about doing this as a topic for a live stream before. It's just funny. I don't have a problem. Christina Bowman's sign is great. If you need a sign to tell you how to live your life, you're doing it wrong. That's totally right. No, I think you're a type 7, Freddie Chandran. You're very avoidant of your shit. What did you and your ex ESFJ talk about? Well, we talked about 2 things basically. We could have some conversations about other people and gossipy stuff that I kind of enjoyed and she enjoyed, and that was fine. And sort of people analysis, like why people did this or that. We'd have those kind of conversations. And then we'd have conversations about Delilah and raising Delilah, my child. And she was a great mother. And we were busy as well. We were very busy. Like I was working all the time, and she was working and raising Delilah, and I was raising Delilah. And meow. So, right. Thanks, Mladen Staj Quebec. Interesting choice to change your adjective there, Rismos. You're right. That was a correct decision, but it's one that most people wouldn't bother to do. Are you an ENTP, Rismos, or INTP? One of the two. You seem kind of ENTP-ish, maybe. I don't know what you are. Whatever. Have I ever talked to you? Masturbation is necrophilia if you are dead inside. That's a great sign to give to an ESFJ. And then And then lay on the FE pressure. You're like, you didn't put my sign up. Where's the sign I bought you for your birthday? Oh, cool. That should be the INTP sign, yeah. That's the INTP sign right there. Masturbation is necrophilia if you're dead inside. Did you make that up, Eileen? That really is absolutely fucking brilliant. It's one of the more brilliant little things I've read in a long time. It's really quite fucking snappy. That's NENI at its fucking best. You want to go outside, Katie? I mean, but you don't know that you took it from something else, then you made it up. Somebody else might have concurrently made it up. Hello, Belle. Hello, Rachel Apolosa. Just giving that as a gift would be enough. I don't care if they put it up on the wall or not. I know, but the thing is, the funny part would be to put them in the FE spot of being like having hurt feelings about them not putting your sign up. And they're like, what do I do? I'll be right back over there. I can't really read the chat from over here, as I've discussed before. It's a little far away. So I just have to smoke the cigarette real quick. Okay. Let's see here. They're not happy all the time. They get butthurt real quick when you don't behave as they think you should. That is totally true. They think they're being very reasonable. Like, okay, listen, you have to do the shit you don't want to do. Now, how do you want to have to do it? You could have to do it tomorrow. You could have to do it later today. You could have to do it with this FE or with that FE. How would you like to have to do the shit that you don't want to do? There you go. You are being very fair, but I don't want to do that. You know, I remember this is a perfect example of it. When Candace is like, okay, well, I'm hand painting a sign, and I'm gonna let you choose the quote. But she didn't let me choose the quote. She like rejected multiple quotes, then accepted one that I picked, and then changed it. Like changed the wording of it. She was very controlling. Me type myself, methinks intuitive. Well, if you use the word methinks, you're probably right. All right. If you're a person who employs the verb methinks very often, you're probably intuitive. How does ignoring FE or FE fifth slot manifest in IXFP types? Does it manifest by a selfish and unaware verbal diarrhea on live streams? No. Sorority Chandra. That's what you're doing right there, demonstrating your extroverted intuition. You're not demonstrating your fifth slot FE. My ESFJ friend steals my ideas and changes them to suit her desires. It drives me crazy. When I hear ESFJ, I hear patronizing. ESFJs are just like, if you're like, well, I want Mia. They're like, well, here's some FE instead. Here you go. And you're like, that's that's great and everything. I like the FE, that's fine. But I also actually want, yeah. Okay, well, here's some FE then. The good thing is I don't find ESFJs very introspective. They are not very introspective at all. There's nothing they hate, so very unlikely to see the chest ring. Right. They don't have any, they're not interested in cognitive functions. To the best of my recollection, I have never typed an ESFJ. I've never formally typed anybody as ESFJ, like in a typing session. Why would that be the case? It's not because they're so rare. It's that they're unipolar, so they don't care at all about like the truth that applies. That's what happened. It's like me. It's like, why would I go? If let's say you were a feelings analyst or something, like I mean, I don't know what that would be the equivalent of, but like, let's say somebody they did this thing where you went and you talked to them on a video chat, and they asked you questions about your feelings and gave you an assessment of what kind of feelings you had. Well, ENTP ENTP probably would be very interested in doing that. Actually, this analogy is not really working. Unhealthy intuitives are a nuisance to sensors and vice versa. Wise words, Dolan. Wise words. That's a very intuitive statement you made there. What is Dolan's pick? Let me see what that is. I don't see what it is. It looks like a blue thing over a yellow thing. Yeah, ESXJs don't watch this type of stuff. This is all operating in the currency of NI. Yes, there's a lot of extroverted intuition in it. Like, when I'm singing random songs or whatever, even that's operating in the currency of NI. If it's a terrible little song, then it doesn't really work. And hopefully it's short and amusing enough that, whatever. But Sredi Chandran points out that ENFJs like that kind of stuff, though. Like type stuff. Yes, ENFJs do seem to like type stuff. They're interested in it. Dolan is like an old meme. Really? I'll have to Google it. A brown beige family thing. Or as my ESFJ neighbor told me, I was putting unnecessary thoughts in my head. I was about to start chin lecture, but I saw that host Eric was talking about ESFJ wall signs, and I don't know who to pay attention to. Well, ESFJ wall signs are probably more important than a chin lecture, whatever that is going to be about. ESFJ wall signs are pretty important. The young ESFJs like to watch pregnancy teen shows and the Kardashians. My ex-wife ESFJ likes to watch Real Housewives and of all the various cities, Atlanta, Beverly Hills. She liked to watch what I consider to be extraordinarily painfully bad media. Well, I looked into everyone's, chat habits and discretion regarding those things. And I selected a single candidate out of all those people to be a moderator. Just purely on qualifications. So, Eric, if I flunk on my exams, I'm blaming you. I don't like to take responsibility. You also get a lot of payback in your third slide FE. Well, thanks, Freddie Chandler. I appreciate that. I'll take that blame. You know what? You can have your teacher call me and I'll say it's my fault. Okay. I will. I'll tell your teacher that I'm tell your teacher that I'm the one to blame. Oh, your parents. Okay, well, I'll talk to your parents. I'll tell them, listen, Shuddy's parents, your daughter's a lazy ass INFP. Don't expect much. All right. Oh, here come the duties, Rachel. She's not an INTP, Breezy Free. She's supposedly an INFP. Yeah, Shreddy self-identifies as INFP. I have said to Shreddy before, I've said to Shreddy before, I had some doubts about whether she was INFP or INTP, but she self-identifies as INFP. I swear they said they were in this chat before. Shreddy is a conundrum, says Walter Wiseman. Just permaban me. But why would you say that? I like you. I don't want you to go away. What does FE polar versus FE ignoring look like? Can FE polar people value politeness more than normal? In some ways, yeah, they do, because they expect the parts of FE that they can understand, namely, the basic social mores, like, for example, saying please and thank you, or whatever. It's like that kind of shit. If you're doing that kind of stuff that's very explicit, then it's something INTJ or ISTJ can understand. But if it's subtle FE, then they can't. So it makes sense that a FE polar person would care a lot about people doing the basic normal things of FE, because those are the ones that they can reliably count on to give them FE indications where they need to, and that they otherwise wouldn't be able to get. Let's see. That's the reason Shreddy always schools ENTPs, is because why? Because she's an INFP. And listen, the thing is, Freddie Chandler, I've got you at a disadvantage here. If we were talking in person, you'd be my supervisor, and I'd feel supervised by you. But because you're just talking via text, then you don't feel supervisorial to me. It's just like you're operating in an NETI territory, and your FI powers have been nullified by my distancing of you into a text person. Like it's like this is a safe environment for me. I can avoid supervision. Social protocols must be followed. For instance, my neighbor complains that millennial males do not open the door for her at work. Well, I also would say, like, millennials, for example, don't expect, like, if millennial males don't expect to pay for dates necessarily, which I always think is very strange, like to take a woman out to eat or something and then expect her to pay for it. Expect for her to pay for her own meal I find strange. What do you say that for, Breezy Free? And who are you talking about? Oh, I tend to prefer songs to occur organically. Breezy Free is tripping. Oh. Is there any type that you definitely think I'm not, Eric? You're not an ISTP. You're not an ISFP. That's for sure. The NE is too obvious. The extroverted intuition is extrovertedly intuiting. Millennial men are odd, says Alexandra Cruz. Why am I not what? Why are you not what, Eileen? May Shreddy be an ESTJ? Zero chance of Shreddy being an ESTJ. Shreddy is not an ESTJ. Shreddy is way too NE for an ESTJ. Way too ideationally. Shreddy's an intuitive as sure as intuitive are intuitives. Millennial ladies go for older men because they have daddy issues. Let's be honest. Well, I don't know about that, but maybe. There's an article that stated that office culture should include intuitives as managers and bosses. I mean, yeah, I think so. But I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to dismiss the possibility of sensors being good managers and bosses. My dad was always in a managerial position as an ESTJ, and I think he was quite effective at what he did. And I was in a managerial position. I was director at a school. I owned this place, or I'm the main guy of this place, but I was the director and more like a corporate job at this other school. Kudos, and I did a good job too, I guess. I definitely did a good job. But the thing is, it depends what you're looking for. Like in a debate school business, where I was doing, there needs to be a lot of vision, so to speak, as to about casework, about like how you're going to run cases, what you're going to do, or how you're going to argue stuff. In such an instance, if you need a lot of vision, then you really need to have an intuitive in the mix. But if you're talking about an enterprise that's executing the vision consistently and the vision's already determined and doesn't require revision, then a sensor might be a better pick for a managerial position. Good question. Thank you, Rachel. Well, I have a daddy. Just don't like how feminized millennial men are. What makes them feminized, do you think? I'm curious about that. Or what do you mean by that? I'm curious. I do notice that there's a lot more comfort amongst males nowadays with their more like metrosexual qualities, I guess you could say. Rosemus, are you implying the politeness and compassion are somewhat at odds? I value and try to use a lot of both, and do a lot of people. Says the INTJ sternly to Rosemus. Rosemus, you've just been sternly spoken to. I'm no millennial and hate all the things you just stated, Breezy. So saying millennial women can't cook, don't want to clean, and also want to tell men how they should act. Well, I can't cook and don't want to clean either. So that's fine. I get it. I clean some. I don't want to clean. I do anyway. I'm not saying we should pay for everything and open your doors. I'm saying there's a certain amount of, remember, you're not dealing with women, you're dealing with a woman. This is the thing that people who talk about women always forget. You never end up dealing with women. You deal with a woman. And the question is, how do you want to treat that person? You know? That's what it boils down to. Host Eric is all boy, and he needs his female animal to growl at him, but only when she is purring with pleasure. Well, that's not exactly true. I'm perfectly content getting pushback. I just want it to be fair and kind, you know? What types are likely to display good physical SI but have poor detailed memory? ISFJs. ISFJs don't really have very good detailed memory. They've got good detailed memory about the details they remember, but those are not details that are necessarily communicably useful. Like remembering what it smelled like there is not very communicatively useful, right? I didn't say how you acted, Breezy Free, did I? I just said, to me, it's how you want to treat somebody, the specific person, right? It's like, I didn't conclude that you acted any particular way. Can SE first or second slot types be lazy? What would it take for an INXP to not be ADHD, avoidant, or distracted? Adderall or drugs or something. Dolan says, Eric, you're an EHP, right? Yes, I am an EHP. Are there any types that are more likely to change significantly throughout life? I would say that probably EHPs are one of the more changey of the types, or at least have a lot of potential for growth in one of any number of possible directions. I feel fortunate that I started to apply that kind of growth towards the right direction at a certain point, prior to which I really wasn't. But because of the lack of self-knowledge and because of the expert intuition and because of the TI, which leads to objective self-criticism, I think EHPs have the capacity for a lot of growth and start off really confused. You know, we start off really confused and we get more knowledgeable about ourselves and about the world over time. How old was I when I was at the point where I began to focus on the right things? Not until my early 40s. I mean, I did some evolution prior to that. I obviously evolved some when I had a child. I evolved some when I started becoming successful at work and applying myself and meow. But I didn't really begin self-growth until my early 40s when I began this YouTube channel and quit drinking. Hi, Megan Lavoda. Megan Lavoda's in the house indeed. I've been thinking a lot, Megan Lavoda, about what you're saying about people underestimating ENFJs and realizing that I also underestimate ENFJs for sure. I underestimated you. I've done it again more recently than that. Why is self-growth hard for me, for ENFPs? Well, because I really do believe we have to actualize externally that the only way an ENTP can really grow into themselves is doing something like this, being very externalizing. Here's who I am over and over and over again, until finally we understand that people go, okay, you're that, fine. Yes, you can be that now. We have to refine and refine and refine until everybody goes, yes, you can be that. You're okay. Right, I am your benefactor type. And that is a reason to underestimate. But I'd like to think I can metacognate out of that. Like, I'm aware of my own reflexive attentional limitations. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm really a lot more interested in understanding other people than I've ever been before, and less interested in displaying for other people than I ever have been before. So that doesn't mean I'm not continually extroverting still, but it means I just have a more nuanced, I'm less just full blast extrovert, less full blast, look at me. And I'm more and increasingly looking at other people in more meaningful ways and trying to evaluate them. But I still make fucking stupid FI polar things all the time, like, neglecting to care about things I ought to care about in some circumstances. But the slabs are looking out for me. The slabs really are looking out for me. I'm absolutely convinced of that. If somebody asks here if I'm religious, yes, basically, sort of. I am. I'm driven by a faith in moral agency, and I'm driven by an understanding that I have responsibilities and that there are some things that I'm bad at being responsible for. My own feelings is one of them. But the slabs won't let me fall into the wrong thing, apparently, this time. So, I feel fortunate that, like, I went out with that woman Jen a few times, and it just didn't gel for whatever reason. Well, the reason is because the Slavs didn't want me to be with her. And so, they're like, no, we're not going to let you waste any more time on this shit, Eric. You're going to have to not get on that chick. Okay. I'm supposedly an ENFP. In most social events, I just want to get away as fast as possible and continue with my life. Okay. I will tell you an NTP woman's secret. We are kid and mature simultaneously. So mature men grab our attention but eventually lose interest because no fun and vice versa. Huh. Interesting. Brian Chambers TE-DOM lectures on how to be more TE-DOM. Like, I know, I try not to do that. I don't want to be just, I don't want to be just that. Yet another example of somebody just preaching their own function bias, which I think is very common in the community or in life in general. For people who understand function bias, it still happens. For people who don't, then it happens even more. Okay, let's see here. I think maturity takes time for every type, says Megan Lavoda, but perhaps NTPs are so countercultural and stubborn by society standards that you're judged by FESI until you develop it. I don't know. I just know that I've always increasingly felt, the older I've gotten, less and less like my age. I used to feel like I was about 14. Now I feel like I'm about 25 or something. I don't know. I just always felt like a little kid compared to everybody else. And it had to do with my feelings too, like being sensitive like this. Like asking that question and reflecting on it makes me emotional. And I get all teary or whatever. Like a little kid, you know? And I think I'll always be like this. I'm just I'm only an adult when shit has to get done or whatever. Like very much an adult when I'm not talking about my feelings or relationships or anything like that. When I'm not talking about my right time or my sitting around the house, like feeling emotions time, I'm extremely mature. Like you can hire me to be the director or something, and I'll kick all kinds of ass at it, more so than anybody can possibly conceive of when they hire me. And I have no problem being the adult boss kind of guy, you know? But that is me at work. It is work. It is laborious. It is tiresome. And it's not who I naturally am. I don't like to be bossy and tell people how to do shit and everything. Although I'm comfortable in the role, but I don't like it. I feel like a child compared to other people too. I think everyone feels this way. I don't think we ever really grow up. We're still growing. Yeah, that's quite possibly true as well. Cognitive functions are processing functions. Many INTPs use humor to acclimate to such situations. That's true. Alphas are a more childlike quadra, I think, but I like that about them. I do feel like we're a more childlike quadra, and I think NTPs are probably the most childlike, but I also think it has to do with Enneagram type. I think Enneagram type 7 is the most childlike Enneagram type. So when you get when you get an Enneagram 7 ENTP, you get somebody who's very childlike. And C says, I once met a man in his 80s who told me he still feels 18 inside. Children are honest, and I am definitely honest. It's one thing that you can probably almost always count on with me is that I'm not lying to you, whoever you are. You know, I may withhold thoughts. I may, lie by omission. I may do a lot of things interpretively wise, but I am almost certainly not straight up lying to you. Very, very rarely. You probably have to be a cop, you know. Breezy Free informs us that he's currently snorkeling. He's exploring some coral reefs. The child feeling never goes away. It evolves. It evolves into a meta awareness where you realize that, I guess, your constructed self is there to protect your real self. This is how I feel. And you'll never really get to know your real self or get to respect it exactly because it's just a burden, kind of. But I know I have to protect it or else I'll feel bad. Now, that's growth for me, for sure. Like, I have to protect my feelings. It matters. I can't just not care about them at all. I can't put them all the way last in line of priorities all the time. And I have to be aware that that's my natural tendency to do that. Childlike wonder, one of the qualities of it is enthusiasm at the initial beginning of something, for anything really, that is unrelated to how you actually feel about it. So when feelings align and the enthusiasm is appropriate rather than just naturally occurring, or when it coexists with something that's more naturally occurring, like your feelings, then that's a good thing. ENFJs, and I think that's one thing that makes it very feasible for ENFJs and ENFPs to get along well, is there is that kind of opposite quality. It probably helps if the ENFP is older. I suspect that Megan Lavoda and Rachel Lapalosa, both of whom are ENFJs, I suspect that you get along not very well with younger ENTPs, possibly, or not as well. Probably Megan Lavoda, especially, I'll address this to you. Probably you get a lot of ENTP bullshit comments from fucking snarky ass, chip on the shoulder young ENTPs. I would guess you probably do. I mean, you probably got a little bit of snarkiness from me sometime back, a long time ago. You probably did. Probably made some videos. Yeah, NTPs who've never gotten laid are particularly salty. But anyway, I just want to apologize right now, formally, for every snarky thing I've ever said about ENFJs. I want to apologize and retract the statement about ENFJs not having a soul. Okay, and particularly that one. I'm sorry about that. My bad. I was wrong. I also have a video up there where I talk so much shit about ESTPs, and then I realized my own daughter is an ESTP, and that was a bit of an eye opener, right? My younger ENTP counselor would challenge me all the time. At the end of camp, he changed to be so helpful in my faith counselor. Well, you ENFJs have a way of successfully impacting other people's perceptions and behaviors. I have a question, actually. Why do ENFJs seem calculated? I'm the opposite of calculated. Well, let me confirm the second of those first. You are the opposite of calculated because you're an interface type. That means you go into a situation knowing that you can't know everything ahead of time, that you can't deliberate out everything ahead of time, that you have to play it by ear fundamentally. You have to be responsive to what the other person is saying and doing. You're right. It is the absolute opposite of being calculated. The reason you're perceived as being calculated is because your FE-NI combination means that even though you're being interactive in real time, you're setting up shit that plays out long-term over time. Especially, and you're doing it, see, for sensors, you're doing it without their consent or awareness. But with intuitives, with like me, you're doing it with my consent and awareness. And so I don't view ENFJs as calculated. I get what they're doing. They're playing FE intuition with me, and it's fun. But sensors are going to view you as calculated. Is that, can you give me some FE affirmation for my answer, Megan Lavoda, please? Tell me I gave you a good answer. You know how I like that? The third slot FE. Maybe ENFJs underestimate their FE superpowers. I don't know if they underestimate themselves. I think other people underestimate them because they're nice and they think, oh, you're just being nice or something like that. Thanks, Megan Lavota. I appreciate it. You know, I need that third slot affirmation. INTP resists ENFJ and their tools. ENTP likes to play along. There you go, Hambone. That's a great way to put it. I do like to play along. Well, I want you to know, Megan Lavota, that I am a Megan Lavota cheerleader. I am a friend of the channel, as they say, and hopefully likewise. And, you know, you get 2 thumbs up, seal of approval from host Eric. Fancy Deluxe, maybe you can. Okay. But that is going to depend on how well you seduce me. To successfully pet my brows, you're going to have to do the ritual mating dance of the praying mantis. Ruzmus, why are you being a dick? Why are you being a dick? Huh? Why you gotta be like that? Eric is unseducible? Yeah, I'm a tough nut to crack. It's like, I'm just granite. No. It's not the post-mating dance. It's a dance where you have to raise one of your legs like this and the other leg like this, and you go like that. You'll have to learn it. INTP can trust giving their own NI to other people because it goes through TI first, and they don't trust NI, the tool function, at all. As a general rule, I used to think that I didn't think much of NI tool function as well, because I don't know why I thought that. Well, yes, they do, but I'm not talking about the post-mating ritual, Rachel. I'm talking about the pre-mating ritual dance. Okay? Dolan's going to take over your country, AS. Eric seems easy to seduce. Breezy Free, I have not ignored everybody else in the chat. And the reason I'm so enamored with Megan is because she's big and famous. And you're just Breezy Free. Okay? And she's a cool ENFJ with great eyebrows. And you're just a dick who's bitter. Okay? Yeah, I do like to talk to chicks. Sorry. Does that make me a bad person? I don't ignore you either, Eileen. Just because I don't read every fucking thing that you say doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. I have a cat with pretty much white hair, and this is the reason I wouldn't wear black. Dolan, no, I don't want to cuddle. Okay? I'm not even asking you questions, says Breezy Free. Okay, fine. You're not even asking me questions. It doesn't mean I'm not commenting upon your things. I am commenting on them with my commenting bone. Do you know where I keep my commenting bone, Breezy Free? I keep it in my mouth. It's that. That's my commenting bone. Okay? I'm getting frustrated, says Dolan. I'm not that frustrated. Here's a compliment for your FE, Eric. I think you're too humble, actually, about your insight. It's like hidden in plain sight, not SE out there for SE users to notice first. I'm not that FE deft. I can't really be my own cheerleader without coming across as arrogant or, whatever. I do cover things with jokes, and I try to do some self-deprecation in there. Like I said, my FE's third slot. It's important to me. I try my best, but I am not that subtle and deft with it that I can exactly work out how to do what you're saying, you know. Maybe maybe I just need to consult with an ENFJ periodically about it. Who knows? There is a tool for computer users, and you can share a French kiss by inserting your tongue in this. Howard Wolowitz. What the fuck? Mrs. Mom, sometimes you've really confused the fuck out of me. And see, I don't track hormones either. I just noticed through the years that my cognitive style changes quite a bit depending on hormone status, and find that it actually correlates with function. Man, why is this check getting so clingy all of a sudden? Says Milan Stojkovic. I'm having a hard time. I'm sorry you're having a hard time, Breezy Free. I don't mean to be busting your chops. I get that it fucking sucks ass when you're not feeling reproductively viable, for example. Megan, not all ENFJs are saints either, says Hambone. So don't you start thinking you're a saint, okay? I don't want any positive self-concept out of anybody. Nobody think they're good. You're all shit. Yeah, you keep that in mind, Megan. All right? You're no saint. I mean, Megan's pretty saintly, really. She's a good woman. You can tell she's trying to do good stuff out there. She's trying to send positive messages. She's trying to make people feel good about themselves and help people to understand themselves and not over asserting her own certainty about shit. I mean, she's uncertain about it. I've seen her be like, well, I don't know sometimes. And that's great too. It's like all we can all do is be honestly people of goodwill, engage with other people, trying to do right, and we also have to be a little bit not cowards and be willing to go, yeah, I was wrong there. And if you can do those two things, then you're a good person. And then, if you also have, brows that sent ships a sailing to sea, well, then you're Megan Labuda. And she should feel good about herself and stuff. Megan doesn't give a shit about being an expert, but she does care about you. Now contrast that. I give a lot of shit about being an expert, and I don't care about you. I'm just kidding. I care about people a lot too. I'm in kind of a giddy mood this morning. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, Ruse Moose. Absolutely. Fuck INFPs, man. I don't want to be around them. They scare me. I didn't mean to body slam you, Breezy Free. I was trying to be fucking encouraging or something. Seriously. I've been there. I know what it's like. I'm not trying to do FE games. I'm telling you the truth. It's like, I get how much it fucking sucks sometimes when nobody's listening to you and nobody's showing you adequate respect and shit, It sucks ass. I want you to feel good about yourself. At Megan Lavoda, at Talking Fan People. I agree on this point about Megan's good heart. I was possible to critique an ENFJ without upsetting him or her. Be like, hey, listen here, you stupid fucking ENFJ. Do it my way. Like that. That's probably the best way to do it. They really respond well to that. Isn't that right, Megan? Rachel, you're an ENFJ too. You can chime in on that if you'd like. Either you agree with that, right? That's the best way to approach an ENFJ. That would be. It's such a funny notion of like a couple fighting all the time and just using cognitive function language. Your fucking tool function introverted intuition is driving me crazy. I'm getting myself some more coffee. I'm smoking a cigarette too, so just give me a second here to meow the meow, as they say. Meow the meow. Meow the meow. That was a satisfying cigarette. Let's see how people responded to my recommended approach of dealing with ENFJs. Critique isn't disrespect. Disrespect is disrespect. 100% Megan. Yeah. Out of a place of care because they want to improve me, they can be as harsh as they want. Well, I wouldn't actually be that talk to any people like that. All I gotta say, I even hate to bring up the name because it brings me down. Think about it. Is Kimberly. She called me last night and it was just after she got me to stop live streaming with her toxic nonsense. She called me and she was just like, and it's like she successfully provoked me at that point, and I was like, "You stupid fucking bitch!" I just couldn't help it. I had to yell at her because she was being so fucking awful. I only smoked like half of it, Mladen Stojkovic. I've got this whole ashtray out there of half-smoked cigarettes. I always forget, and then I get out there, I light a new one, and then yeah. Well, I don't see. The thing is, here's the thing, Eileen. She's jealous, you say, but I just don't understand how that could possibly be. Because I made very, very sure that she understood everything, like this is what you're choosing kind of a thing, you know? And I probably did see it. I'll have to look again at it. But there's nothing to be bitter about. It's like she chose all of this. I mean, I'm not trying to engage with. I just have to get the rest of my shit from her house still. And I got my wheat plant growing there. And I want to harvest it. You know? Okay, but she must be happy now that we're not together. Spacey's doing great, as far as I can tell. What was Kimberly's type? Kimberly's type was no, I'm pretty sure she's probably working right now. I don't want to talk shit about her or anything, and I'm not agonizing over it at all. No, I'm not agonizing over anything. I'm just saying it's like we were talking about basically how you talk to people and stuff, and I realized when I was saying that, well, last night I talked to somebody like I would never want to be talked to or never expect to talk to anybody. But she's really good at provoking me to like get mad and yell at her and stuff. I don't know. I mean, she hasn't successfully done so since we broke up until last night when she when she was the first person ever to successfully troll me out of live streaming. Like I just didn't want to play anymore. It wasn't fun anymore, Maybe from Kim's perspective, she may feel you're not hurt enough from the breakup and the speed at which you're moving on is too fast. It seems as though the relationship wasn't so significant. But she made it very clear to me in multiple ways over and over again that she did not like me, that she did not think I was a good person, that she did not want to hear anything I had to say or learn anything from me ever, for sure, ever. I would never, ever be able to teach her anything, even though I wanted to learn things from her, but I mean, like I said, I'm fully detached. I just have occasional moments where I have to deal with her still. And she tries to take advantage of anything she can to get at me, And so that's just, I mean, I do have to deal with her a little bit more. And that's not the end of the world. Oh yeah, they're perfectly fine now that they're separated. Yeah, right. We're not anything. We're not fine or not fine. She's a person who periodically compels herself upon me to make me feel bad. So that's what it is. Sometimes she's successful. Do I try to avoid it? Yeah, but I'm not in a position to exactly like block her and cut all ties at the moment. TI seeking is, I had a thought about this, Megan Lavoda, and I'll see if you agree with it. TI seeking people like to be asked questions. Would you agree with that? I mean, a lot of people like to be asked questions, but not everybody. Well, I mean, I try to make whatever. I mean, I don't need to explain why that relationship went wrong or try to blame her or anything. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. What is TI seeking? TI seeking is fourth slot TI. So that's ENFJ or ESFJ. Let me see what she said. I dated an IHP who told me I had baby political opinions and was like, well, you never asked me about them. And he was like, well, you should just share. And I was like, I didn't know you wanted to know. So it sounds like you do like asking. Oh, yeah, there's the yes. I see it. Yeah, because TI really, when it works well, when it works best, then it's asking a lot of questions. It's trying to find out information. And when one of the things that ENTPs need to remember is that it's to use that in a social way, not just in an argumentational way. So ENTPs naturally use it in an argumentational way. We ask a lot of questions to get you to commit to position statements so we can argue with you and tell you why you're wrong or something. But when we use it successfully socially, then that means caring about the other person. It means it's an effective workaround to FI polar, really. It's like, I want to understand the other person. I need to ask them questions. I want to understand their feelings. Nowadays, I want to understand things that I don't naturally understand myself at all. So I tend to ask people about things that I don't know very well or as well. Things like feeling stuff, or their personal experience or their perspective on things. And I find that life really opened up for me as an ENTP when I learned to be more interested in other people and less interested in just displaying myself. So let's see what Megan says here. Okay, here's an example. Let's say that you think an ENFJ is being pushy and they're double texting and you're trying hard to get a reaction out of you and it makes you feel pressure. You could critique them by saying, hey, I want you to know that it really bothers me. It makes me anxious when you do this. Please just trust me. I can tell you're trying to get a reaction out of me due to your own insecurity. It makes me not want to talk to you. Ouch. That's harsh. I wouldn't say that. Thing is, I don't dislike that sort of thing, though. I like to be able to communicate continually with somebody. Like, and not continually, but I like the idea of being able to be like, hey, meow, 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 and then they respond or something. I want that FE gesture at least. Like, hey, I'll call you back in this time. I can't talk to you right now. Sorry, I missed your call. Something like that. Sorry for the slow reply. It doesn't mean I was ignoring you. I was meow, 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 meow. I like that kind of shit, It tends to my FI successfully. I want to hear that, or else I'm going to intuit all this other shit. I think ENFJ is the same way. They want to know what you're feeling and what you're saying because I'm getting distracted by the other comments, as I do sometimes. Megan, I noticed when you were live streaming, you have two distinct states. You are live streaming, talking about something, or you're reading the live chat. With me, I try to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so I get distracted sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of those important things. You want to get with somebody who has the same kind of communication thing, like if one person wants a lot of FE clarification and you're able to provide that, then provide it. If you care about the person and you want them to be happy, and I don't know. I just know that I'm not going to have any more relationships like my last one. I just know that. That's for sure. I am done having relationships like the last one. Who typed me? I typed me. I asked Megan to type me. She says she wants to interview me and said, oh, Megan, when can we do that? When can we do that? I have to do my half of the thing for your channel still, if you still want me to. Let me know when you want me to do that. Yeah, I mean, I think Megan works right now. Still set boundaries. These are my boundaries. Never ever touch either of my elbows. They're very, very sensitive. Don't talk about my elbows. Don't look at them. Don't make any jokes about them. I'm pretty sensitive about my elbows as well. They're not only very sensitive, but I'm sensitive about them. Megan Lavoda, that is some wise ass words there. The best part of dating is learning what you don't like so you can prevent problems in the future. Yeah, that's true. Um, Eric, the ISFP sounds very much artsy. All right, cool. Next week sounds good, Megan Lavoda. Whatever your schedule is like, you just let me know. I'm shooting a quick message here. Hold on a second. I gotta text somebody. I know this is very boring. I'm sorry. This is terrible live stream etiquette. I do apologize. I appreciate your patience. Please, please chat amongst yourselves for a moment. Uh, okay. Okay, Kimberly, this is the thing. I'm glad you're here. And I just wanted to say what I said earlier as well, which is I do not want to talk any shit about Kimberly. I understand that she's human and she sometimes acts out in ways that are maybe human. And I don't believe in judging people on how they act in moments of high stress or high distress. I believe in affording everybody the benefit of the doubt as much as possible. Kimberly's my ex, Dolan. Um, you never changed your channel name from what to what. I want Kimberly to be well. I want her to get some ESFJ wall signs. Okay. I really do. And I'm going to suggest some ESFJ wall signs. She's not toxic. Okay. She engaged in some toxic behavior. As I keep trying to stress, I am not making ontological critiques of Kimberly. She does, when she's upset and in distress and in ontological distress, do some things that I'm sure she wishes she hadn't done or whatever, says some things. She doesn't do bad things. She's not violent or anything like that. We all do. A drowning man thrashes about. And when we're experiencing ontological distress, we all do the same thing. And we thrash about. For whatever reason, Kimberly and I caused each other a lot of ontological distress. It doesn't matter why. What I'm trying to say is I'm done with ontological distress. I'm ready to be happy. Yeah, you made a mistake. She made a mistake. People make mistakes. It's okay. You're forgiven, Kimberly. And I don't want you to feel bad. And I don't want you to be judged. And I don't want to badmouth you on the internet. Christina Bowman, whatever Kimberly decides she wants to do in relation to the community is fine with me. I want the community to be here for her, for her to reach out to, and I know that she's got good friends within the community, and I don't want to see her suffer. That's it, you know. That's all I have to say about it, really. That doesn't mean I'm not human too, and sometimes I will get mad and I'll maybe talk a little bit of shit, but I'll always come back to this central message and central theme. I'm not looking to hurt her. I don't want to see her hurt. I don't like to see her suffer. I want her to be a happy, successful, and realized person. And I don't want people to judge her for her moments of bad behavior any more than I want myself to be judged for my moments of bad behavior. So, you know, I'm sorry I called you a stupid fucking bitch last night, Kimberly. That's the long or the short of it. I probably don't sound very sorry at the moment, but I'm sorry I called you a stupid fucking bitch. I shouldn't have done that. Breakups are not fun. Kimberly and I, we had some good times for sure. And we had some close times, and we, there were moments where we were there for each other, and it was nice. And she just needs to be autonomous, basically, or in control of the relationship. And there's nothing inherently wrong with either of those things if you have somebody else who complements those needs. We don't complement our needs in those areas. So anyway, every boy a genius. Right. Christina Bowman has it right. Just because a relationship is toxic doesn't mean either member of it is necessarily. Okay. And I spent a lot of time fixating on the fact that Kimberly was responsible for our, unhealthier manifestations or whatever. But the fact is, it always takes two to tango. If I weren't standing in there choosing to do battle with her, there wouldn't be any battle happening. So, I mean, that's just the reality of things. And regardless, I know I'm very happy to be out of the relationship at this point. And Kimberly is too. But because she's a feeler, maybe because she's not FI polar or something, she experiences the mourning process differently than I do. And that's okay. And I have nothing but compassion. I try to have nothing but compassion for her, and understand that we all go through various shit in our lives, and some people's shit is other people's shingles. Something like that. Every individual has emotional needs and deserves someone who has the desire to meet those needs without feeling the need to change them. Fucking, that's some tool function NI wall up right there. That is a tool function NI wall up. Megan Lavoda reached into her back pocket, pulled out a mighty club of NI, said, here's a wall sign for you. Put that on your wall and smoke it. Alexandra Cruz says, okay, Megan Lavoda is probably right about INTPs because the last time I broke up with someone, I just told him to get over it like egg. I couldn't even do what Eric's doing right now. Well, I'm just being a decent human being, frankly, Alexandra. I'm not, Kimberly is not somebody who I want to see tossed on the heap of of refuse or something. I just, I cared about her. I did the best I could, and it didn't work. That's it. I tried my best. I'm a good trier. I am. Once I'm in, I try hard. Sometimes trying hard is a bad idea, right? Sometimes trying hard is when you're like using a wood saw and you hit a nail and it starts sparking. Don't push harder. Don't try to cut through the nail with your wood saw. That's what I was doing. I kept trying to cut through nails with my wood saw. If you're high stack TI, you probably understand the function of the relationship as a system and why it won't work. Yeah, I probably did, but FJs need this to be explained. Well, I mean, the thing is, I kept understanding the TI in terms of why I could make it work or how we could make it work. And also I understood the NE and NI in that regard and the TE. But the problem is, you can't force that. You can't force somebody to engage with you as you think is healthy, even if you're right. That's the key point. Even if you are right that your way is healthy and that the other party's way is unhealthy, quote unquote, you cannot force somebody to change the way they interact with you. And that's what I tried to do. I tried to, I didn't try to manipulate Kimberly into being how I wanted her to be. If I had tried that, it might have worked. Who knows? I tried to NITI her into being like I wanted her to be. Here is the truth. You operate according to the truth. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. And well, Frank James is not an INFP. He's an INFJ. That was a good bong rip. Kimberly, you're taking on your home and your life. You're right, Christina Bowman. Sergeant Host Eric mistyped him as an INFP. Mostly because Sergeant Host Eric has a little inclination to throw people in the slammer. But yeah, pause while my brain reorients itself is correct. Eric, is it possible to type via Messenger? No, you have to type. You have to type somebody by talking to them. I mean, the thing is, I didn't break up with Kimberly. Kimberly functionally broke up with me. We had a final fight where I said things like, will you ever be willing to talk to me respectfully? Will you ever be willing to learn anything from me? She made it clear, no. Will you stop talking to me contemptuously? She said, no, I will not. I will continue talking to you contemptuously forever. Will you act like you like me? No, I will not act like I like you. I will continue to act like I don't like you. And so functionally, she broke up with me, right? It's like, I say, okay, well, I guess then we have to break up. And she's like, okay, you know? And even then I said, hey, listen, I haven't changed my Facebook status yet. If you want to intercede here at any point to stop this from happening, go ahead. She said, leave me out of it. So I thought like I broke up with her. She made it very clear to me Breezy Free. He might be the best. Stacey might be the best. I don't know. He might be better than me. Probably am the best though. Winston's mom, I already know how to win arguments. I'm not trying to win arguments. I'm trying to engage people's ideas in a genuine way. I could always win every argument if I wanted to. It's boring. You can't pick apart a theory and just say it's right because it's your interpretation. I prefer not to deal with all the FE shit because it makes me feel so bad. I just cut them off. C.S. Joseph made some good arguments that James and INFP watched the video. I do not waste my time watching C.S. Joseph videos. I'm sorry. I waste my time doing a lot of fucking stupid ass shit. Sometimes I'll dig in the dirt with a stick for an hour. But I will not spend my time so carelessly as to watch a C.S. Joseph video. I'm sorry. I'd have to suffer some severe brain damage first. You know, maybe get a stake through the head, iron stake through the head. Then I might be able to watch that C.S. Joseph video. Okay. Dave's not a scammer. He's just a wrong person. I mean, there are elements of typing that can be objectively determined, like TI strength, for example, can be tested objectively. SI strength can be tested pretty objectively. NE's a little more hit and miss, but pretty good. Dave is trying to do scientific tests. Look, Dave's just wrong. He's not a coward, you know, unlike C.S. Joseph. C.S. Joseph is a coward. He's an abject coward. And so there's no reason to afford him any respect, authority, dignity. Yeah. He's not willing to take the hits. He wants to be a boxer who never gets hit. He only gives punches. I mean, what kind of it's just rank, stinky, smelly cowardice is what it is. I got the Gorilla Glue number 4, y'all. Gorilla number 4. 10 grams from Wonderland. Oh, yeah. Old Stinky Boy. Stinky Boy. Stinky Boy is a great nickname for C.S. Joseph. I'm sorry you're sad, Kimberly. I am. And I get that somehow it's upsetting that I am not sad. But I don't understand why you're sad, because you absolutely fucking hated me. You made that so abundantly clear to me every day. How can you be sad now that we're not together? It doesn't make any sense at all. Think about when you feel sad, remember how much you hated me. How clear you made that to me. Stop saying that, Eileen. She does not. She absolutely does not. Okay, Alexandra Cruz, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's the losing of a familiar connection, whether she hated you or not. Well, I mean, the thing is, what I did was I made absolutely sure that she was fully aware of all of the consequences that were going to occur if we broke up and blah, 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 blah. And I made done everything I can to make sure the consequences are not that bad and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying my best. But it seems unfair of you to be sad, Kimberly. It really does. It's like, how can you be sad? It's just so unfair. I did everything in my power to be like, don't do this. Yeah, whatever. Adrian B says, same thing. I can't understand why my ex acts like he didn't want a divorce, yet he wanted to be everywhere else but home with his family. I did his ass a favor. He did do his ass a favor. Eric, do you think a young ex-NTP should stay away from weed, or is it just something that someone has to monitor? I think it's the one thing you can safely indulge in as much as you want. Ramona, I would suggest things like that. She would actively, openly, directly negate them. No, I don't. I don't respect you at all. Things like that. I walked away and continued with my shopping. I heard him chuckle as he walked off. When I came to pay for my stuff up front, I saw him trying to walk out the doors with like 15 Milky Ways in his hands without paying. Huh. It is possible to relate and empathize with both Kim and Eric in this situation, making sure in the end, though Kim says words don't matter and Eric says words are everything. Well said, Chantel Vanderleek. Well said. That is the core of our difficulties. Kimberly doesn't believe basically the words matter, that we should let words go, that they're just symbols to be tossed around and then ignored. 5 points for Tomcat. That's my Native American name. 15 Milky Ways. That's hilarious. I don't know anything about it. I'm just philosophizing here about FJs. Alexander Cruz, I like that. That's a good analogy there, good metaphor. You're like a lizard, Kimberly. You lost your tail, but it shall grow back and be shinier than ever. Good, well said. No one should have to listen to. Okay, yeah, well, that's true as well. I'm not getting back together with Kimberly Dixie Normus. I'm not doing that. We are done. Justin Salisbury, that's possible. That sounds. What's the best type? Why, ENTPs, of course. ENTPs are the best type. Everybody knows that. I am all in or all out. Those are my 2 states of being. That's it. Megan Lavoda, thank you for your words of encouragement. Kimberly, you will find someone who's a much better match, who you will love just as much. You deserve to feel easy and smooth. I agree. You deserve things to feel easy and smooth. I agree. All right, cool, Dolan. You and me and both be inch peace. Okay. Dustin Salisbury again. That's why treating dating like a game is disingenuous. I agree. Treating dating like a game is disingenuous and not cool and bullshit. To me, it's experimenting with humans is toxic. I agree with you, Breezy Free, 100%. Humanity, man. You and me both had a relationship with WKRP Tomcat. What's the best MBTI test? Paying Eric to type you. You think she played you or did you play her? Neither of us played the other one. Kimberly and I didn't play each other. We just didn't work out. We just weren't compatible. We weren't compatible from the get-go in certain ways, but in certain ways at the beginning we were compatible. But we didn't play each other. Kimberly wasn't playing me. I wasn't playing her. We were both trying our best. It just our trying our best was the nail in the wood saw, like I talked about before. I kept hitting sparks. I wanted to get through that fucking nail, right? I kept pushing down with my wood saw. It kept sparking. Made my wood saw dull. Yeah. Well, Megan Lavoda, I want you to know I need advice on dealing with ENFJs. And who knows what life will bring. I will text you a question probably. You're my go-to ENFJ expert, okay? ENFJ expert. Damn it, I need to change my pods, and I just refilled them. Your pods. Do you grow pods, Alexander Cruz? You're some sort of hybrid creature that grows pods? You need to refill them with your discharge? Oh my God! All the discharges leaked out of my pods. I'll need to refill them. $100 is redundant, but does that make it funny? Yes. I think so. And I've just listened to my advice. Okay. I will. The thing is, I typically do listen to advice when I ask for it. I don't ask advice very often, but when I do ask advice, I typically listen to the person I ask. And I don't typically ask advice of people that I don't think are a good person to ask advice about something, you know? So it's like, when I needed advice about dating, I'd ask Taylor. But I wouldn't necessarily ask Taylor about advice about a relationship. Although in some ways I would, some things. But probably not. Generally, he's not my go-to relationship question person, right? I'm more likely to ask a woman for relationship advice because I think they understand women better than men do. So why would you ask a man relationship advice about if you're in a relationship with a woman? If I were in a gay relationship, maybe I'd ask a man, you know? ENFJs are just swimming in the FE environment. People with weaker FE will be confused by what the fuck they're doing and may feel manipulated. Well, people with weaker intuition and or like backside FE with weaker intuition, especially. It's the intuition part that like my FE will never be as good, but my intuition is just as strong. So there's lots of subtextual conversations going on with between intuitives, especially both using FE, that have to do with lots of like subtle cues that are intended to convey certain meanings, so that things don't have to be said so directly and explicitly and stuff like that. That's an art form I continue to work on and learn, and it's one of the things about ENTPs that can potentially get along well with an ENFJ, I think, is that if the ENTP likes to learn new things and likes to get better at stuff, and once we've actualized to a certain point where we learn to be learners, then we're comfortable taking on that role as learners. And in that regard, ENFJs is something to teach us that we want to learn, you know. I can understand that I broke up with my ex right before all my family members' birthdays, and he kept coming around to give them presents. I was like, this motherfucker. Alexander Chris, was somebody saying you're not an INTP? I think somebody was. That's a very INTP thing to say. Yeah, I gotta say, Kimberly, these are aspects of Kimberly that maybe it didn't get talked about enough. Kimberly's absolutely amazing with my mom. She does a fantastic job with her. She does a better job with her than I do, frankly. And she deserves full credit for that. Yeah, my mom has dementia. She's kind, patient, cares a lot about her needs, especially SI stuff that I might be kind of half-assed about, you know, self-care stuff that I might be kind of half-assed about. Kimberly continues to be absolutely great with my mother, and great in lots of ways that have, you know, she was great to lots of people and lots of different animals, and just loving and caring in huge amounts of ways. She just wasn't that way to me. So, I mean, I think it's just, I started annoying the fuck out of her, you know? Hans Horline says, you have no business being that sexy. Who are you talking about? Great professional name for a prostitute. Hit enter. I gotta say, I'm still... Breezy, don't attack Kimberly, please. All right? Kimberly, you gotta understand, you're gonna get a little bit of heat, and I'm sorry about that. And I will try to minimize it, but, you know, also understand it kind of goes with the territory a little bit, okay? I appreciate your willingness to be cooperative, as I do. Breezy Free, I appreciate your willingness to be cooperative as well. And thank you, everybody, for everybody trying to be nice to everybody, you know? Okay. It used to bother me when I got a whiff of my ex taking advice on a relationship for others that would be poorly suited to our dynamic because it was meant for a standard archetype that's not me. Well, J4YN1CK5, I had that experience. Kimberly and I had that experience in our relationship, actually. Kimberly had briefly a therapist who gave her terrible advice, frankly, and it pissed me off. Winston's mom is absolutely correct. Something I want to stress. Thank you for reminding me of this. In fact, Winston's mom, just because I don't read your shit out loud or don't address it doesn't mean I'm willfully ignoring it. I miss a lot of the things, and I see them again if I watch the video later. If I don't just listen to it in the car, which I probably will, but if I actually watch it here on the TV, I see things in the chat that I missed. I see all kinds of interesting things in the chat that I missed. And in fact, typically when I do watch a live stream on the video, then I have it set to live chat. I don't have it set to top chat, Breezy Free. But regardless, I never do have a set to top chat. That is potentially a problem. That's a good conclusion to draw, that maybe I have a set to top chat and I don't have a set to top chat. But I do miss a lot of live chat stuff. And when I watch it later, if I do watch it on TV, the live chats, it almost always makes me want to make another live chat afterwards to address shit that I didn't see last time. But of course, I never end up addressing that shit. I start the new live stream, and then there's just a new raft of shit that I didn't address. Yeah, it was a lot more complex than it appears. And I want to continue contributing to those correct narratives about reality of the relationship and not have people shit on Kimberly. Okay. Enough about that. My boyfriend used to get advice from his drunken, non-employed, dumbass 20-year-old nephews, and I put a stop to that. Probably wise. Do any of you have older model iPhones in here? Is your older model iPhone giving you trouble, Rachel Lapalosa? That's FE for somebody help me with this. And I've taken more responsibility than naturally belonged to me. I was the responsible one. I apologized to our followers and told them they would probably never hear from either of us again. What are you talking about there, Fiji, Katarina? Okay, I'm not going to read all that out loud, but there might be some accuracy to it. It's so warm lately. The iPhone 11 is coming out soon, so I wanted to see if the update is affecting anybody. I think there's a rotary dial phone in the basement. Anyone interested? Well, I have a fun question. How do you get an ENFP flat earther back to reality? You don't, Bruce Moose. You don't. That's the answer to that question. Well, you don't need to miss your friends here, Kimberly. That's the thing. I've told you from the get-go, I don't want you to be excluded from the community, and I want you to be able to talk to other people and get comfort from them. But you got to seek comfort, you know? That's my advice to you. Seek comfort. Don't seek to vent spite or something like that. Thank you, Dark Star. Okay. So it's been over 2 hours in this live stream. So I think I'm going to probably bring it to a close. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real. It's been fun. And it's been real fun. Chantel Vanderleek points out a positive there as well. Seek comfort as I seeking? No, like FI comfort seeking, commiseration or whatever. Did you see that pic yet, Eric? What pic yet? Did you send me a pic? Is it of a chick, Peter Dentici? I'm not looking at that phone right now anyway. I need to go back to the Sprint store and figure out what's wrong with it. It's not getting any data. It's just getting... All right, I'll look at it then. Well, Eric, did Spacey ever mention to you the email I sent? I don't know. Maybe. What was it about? Is it personal? If it's personal, I'll ask him if he did or whatever. I'm not sure. Desert INTJ says, Rachel Lapalus, just watch out for the back bulging at all. Get a replacement if that happens because the battery can explode from expansion. Good advice, Desert INTJ. Thank you for that. Is your mobile data on? Sometimes phones glitch and it gets turned off. I don't know. I don't even want to mess with it. I just can't take it back to the store and have them fix it. I don't like using TE, basically. When it's about my own, or I'll check my email myself. Okay. So, okay. Goodbye, everybody. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. Don't forget to look at plenty of fleas. Why is this not working? Don't forget to be a sportscaster like Brian Greasy. And so forth. What's wrong with this? Do I need new batteries in this thing? I might need new batteries in my mouse. Everybody keep that in mind. It's pretty important, okay? Yes, I've had my pet spayed. She's a lady cat. She's a very sexy cat. The kind you don't take home to mother. She's a very sexy kitty, meow. Once you get her off the street, ow. She likes to lie on my bed. And she says, meow, 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 meow. When I go to pet her face, she says, meow, meow, meow.